Good morning, everyone. This is Pastor Bonnie, and I've had so many of you ask me if I would show you how to do the angel paintings. So we're going to do one that's really simple technique, and this one's just a lot of fun to do, and anybody can do it. These are the colors that we're going to be using. So you can see by the palette, I have burnt sienna, Caribbean, white, and yellow ochre. And then there's also one that's called Brilliant Purple. And let's get started. So I'm going to be using a flat brush, so you can see it just has a nice flat tip on it. And so what we want to do is we're going to make stripes for this one. So you just take the paint, and what I'm going to do is just get a little bit of the white on one side and the blue on the other. You can see how it mixes them together, and then you just make these stripes with it. Dip it in both of them, and I'm going to pick up a tiny bit of the yellow ochre, and it kind of looks kind of ugly right now, but it's going to look real pretty when we get done with it. And then a little more white, and this canvas I'm using is a 5x7 canvas, and this one that's what makes this be such a quick and easy project, and you can see the beautiful stripes in it. This one I'm going to use a little hint of the Brilliant Purple because that's going to be a theme with this angel. We're going to make beautiful purple flowers in her hair, and she's going to be carrying a bouquet. And then I'm just going to put a little hint more of the blue. Kind of want those stripes not to be quite so straight. And you can see, you can go back and add a little bit more. It's just a really soft, pretty look with the nice, easy strokes with this. And then I don't quite like that. I want just a little tiny bit more purple. A lot of these angels, I will tell you, I've had just the most incredible experiences with angels. I see them sometimes. So some of these paintings that I do are actually paintings of angels that I've seen. So it's just a blessing, and I really appreciate getting to spend time with you and share this with you. And to me, painting is an act of worship. So when I paint, and I will add some really pretty soaking worship music for this video. That's what I love, because I want it to not just be a painting lesson for you, but I want it to be an experience where you can relax, and sometimes the Lord will just speak to our hearts and show us things. So now that's about what we've got. I'm just going to let this dry. You can also stop the video along the way and work with it yourself. But the next layer we want to do is called a dry brush layer. And so in order to do that, you can see if I keep adding the colors, it's going to look muddy. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and let this dry. And I'm going to stop the video, and as soon as this is dry and we're ready to put on the next layer, I'll show you the next step. Okay, everybody, I'm back, and I've got my beautiful music playing so that you can worship along with me. And I'm going to do a dry brush. I did go ahead and blow dry this so I could show it to you, but now I'm just going to just lightly go over it with the white paint, and this is a dry brush technique. It just adds some dimension to it. And the next part I'm going to be doing is the angel. And this is just a really easy, simple, really easy technique. So I'm going to take some yellow ochre and mix it with the white. And we're just going to start with the head first, and it's going to be just a round circle with a little point for the chin. And then we want to give her a nice, slender, pretty neck. And I'm going to be working on her dress. And I want to make it just really simple. So we're going to start with the neckline. And I forgot to show you my brush. This is just a stiff boar bristle brush. That's a kind of a small one, and I'm sorry, I don't know the sizes of them. And I like to just start with the outline. This one, I just want to make the body a little bit, I don't quite want it to be this thin, so that it will match her head. And that's the cool part. You can just add layers and layers until you get it the way you want it. And just in case you want to, I do have a book about my angel experiences, and I'm not trying to promote my book, but people ask me a lot. So I went ahead and just wrote a book about all the experiences. I was a registered nurse for many years, 20 years, and I had the most incredible deathbed experiences and just all kinds of wonderful experiences. So if you'd like to, the book is called Angelic Encounters, Enlisting Help from Heaven, and it's my personal life story with all of the angelic encounters. And that you can purchase on Amazon, but it's just a really uplifting book. And I always tell people I do not consider myself anybody special. I don't have a big ministry. I just love people, and I think the reason why the Lord lets me see things is because He knew I would be obedient and write them and share the stories. And so I get to do some traveling. Sometimes I go around to different churches and tell them the stories, and it just always encourages people. God is so real, and He loves us all so much, and He loves you. He sends you angels too. He's not a respecter of people. And then the next thing I'm going to be working on are her feet. And well, actually, I think I'll do her arms first. And then the brush I'm going to use has a little point on it. And I'm going to have her, like she's going to hold a bouquet of flowers. So we want to put a little bend in her elbow. And then we're just going to give her some little pretty little feet. I'll make this one a little bend. I'm going to use a tiny bit of the burnt sienna just for a shadow. So we've gotten her dried, so I can make some pretty, I want to make some pretty petals in her dress. So we're just going to use like a swirling motion. We bring it right down over her legs. Then we're going to start on her hair, and I'm using just a really fine tip brush. And we're going to use the burnt sienna. Make little squigglies. Just make her pretty around her face. I'm just going to put a little bit of white highlights in her hair. And a little touch of the yellow ochre. Just going to put a tiny little line. I like to use a marker just to define her neck and her head. And we're just going to use this stiff little brush to make the flowers for her hair. And I want them to be soft because I'm going to come back and put some purple on top of it when it dries. But these just make it just look soft and pretty. Then we're going to do the purple flowers. And you're going to have some little trailing vines. Actually, I'm going to use a little bit bigger brush. This one's it's a boar bristle, a little bit bigger. And this is a dry brush technique, so you're going to start with just a little tiny bit of paint. Then I'll go back with just a touch of the white. Those are purple. We're going to be doing the wings, and the wings are my favorite part. And I like to make pretty swirls. So what I do is outline them first. I haven't seen too many angels with wings, but the ones I've seen have just been magnificent. One time, my husband was asleep, and we were in the middle of going through a really traumatic time in our life. We were facing a move that we didn't really want to make, and it was just a tough time. And so one night I rolled over in bed, and I went to hug him, and I saw this beautiful angel hovering over him. The angel was white. It was like a olive skin with black hair, flowing black hair, and he had on a white robe with diamonds all along the sleeves. It was just so incredible, and I wasn't afraid, and I just didn't want to interrupt, so I rolled back over and went to sleep. Well, the next morning, Jeff sits straight up in bed, and he goes, "Bonnie," he said, I feel like I'm supposed to go in ministry. And it was interesting because I knew that for a long time, and I didn't say anything to him about it. And so it just showed me that God sends us angels when we're sleeping and we don't realize it. I actually saw the angel hovering over him. The angel was just ministering to him while he slept, and then he woke up with the idea, and he never saw it. But it just shows you that God is just so personal in our lives, and I'm sure he's done that for you too. And I just want to encourage you, if you ever wake up sometimes and you just have clarity in the morning about situations that you're going through, it may be that God sent you an angel in the night to talk to you. But you can see I want the colors to kind of show through underneath. It's just pretty and soft. And you guys, I'm a little sorry because I'm left-handed and I know it's going to be a little bit harder for you to see it. I'll try to move my hand out of the way. But you can see how I just bring the swirls right over. Sometimes I'll water down the white paint just to cover it a little better. Then I'll go back and add the swirls. you always want to sign your work. And the paint's not quite done. I'll have to go back and fix it. But you can see it's just a really simple, beautiful painting. I'll see if I can get it a little closer for you. So you can see we just made a beautiful angel. It was very simple. The next video I'm going to show you is how to make a frame to match it. So we're going to do a matching frame to go along with this angel. But I've so enjoyed spending this time with you. I hope that you are uplifted and encouraged, and remember that God loves you. He has a plan for your life. And thank you so much for spending time with me, and I hope to make another one soon. And you have a wonderful day. You take care. Thank you.